guess they're
Brunson's. I've been telling you for like 6 years. And then now because we can get our groceries, our meal plan, and our dinner on for under $20. We literally sit down. There's a place that's unbelievable. Oh, it's true. But it's walk out like something about being grocery store.
You get the lunch?
Yeah, you just go back. You said you didn't want to box, but you didn't tell us to just smoke it. Should. It's supposed to be heated. He's like, you're a customer. $1,000. Yeah, and I scraped their floor with because I didn't want to try to they all tried it. No. It was funny though. I did so we had a picture. It was a Pathfinder. And you remember him driving that several times.
And then it must have been the one that
Your Saturday night. Troy's was like legit, like. Oh, I dropped my phone. Yeah, it's gone. I was looking at used cars, driving a lot, and you think like 90 Saturn with like 150,000 miles. Think about it. Jack called me the other day.
Oh, okay, I wasn't getting out to grab another beer. I thought you were going to get one. You're fine.
So this is Kevin. When you turn, just make a picture. Like, this is your
Those are better than this. You get those photo frames. Where you're like, the only time I
I went on a walk last week.
And so we're selling those.
It was like my word was just like, dude, you never do this. What are you doing? Like the next morning is because my body was just like, that was wrong. Well, it's just She just needs to
stories about Troy and, during his life and that were his parents, Ron and Joanne.
And these are the really early years. You heard about some other early years. We're moving backwards to Troy's life. The first thing by the way, I want to thank everybody that came today, just like Jen did. She did such a wonderful job with Kurt and the guys. And thank you to all the friends and Troy's co-workers that were with him through this whole ordeal. Everybody's been just so great. We wanted to start with this little poem, believe it or not, by Patsy Deskins. So, if you could see me now, you wouldn't shed a tear. Though you may not understand why I'm no longer here. Remember my spirit, that's the real me. I'm still very much alive, oh if you could only see. I've beheld our Father's face, I've touched my Savior's hand. The angels all rejoiced as I entered the promised land.
Beyond the gates of pearl, I walked the golden streets. I've touched the walls of jasper, dipped my feet in the crystal sea. The beauty is beyond words, nothing can compare. I've even seen your mansion, someday I'll meet you there. Allow Jesus to be your guide, his word will show you the way. So please don't cry, we will meet again someday.
Also, we got a couple of little stories. They're short, I can guarantee it. This is when Troy was about 8 years old. We lived near Maplewood Mall, and about a block from White Bear Avenue. And White Bear Avenue, if anybody's not familiar with it, it's a busy 4-lane traffic area. And because Troy was so young, he was not allowed to cross a 4-lane street. He knew that, but he's clever. Well, one day when I was driving home from work, I noticed there's Troy on the wrong side of White Bear Avenue with a friend of his, another cohort in crime, I guess. And but I was clever. I waited till we all sat down for supper. So then I said to Troy, well, what'd you do today, Troy? And I don't know, it was a little banter talk and stuff like that. And eventually I asked, did you cross White Bear Avenue? He said, no, I didn't. And I said, Troy, I saw you there. White Bear Avenue doesn't have a pedestrian bridge, and you can't fly. How did you get there? So now I got him. I got him now. He said, well, Matt, that's his friend, showed me another way. What? Yeah, he took me down to the storm sewer. And he had me crawl through the storm sewer. He said, I'll meet you on the other side. So that's how they did that one. Some years later, we're skipping a lot of other stories, but some years later, Troy was a teenager now. And his grandpa had built a 3-level Martin birdhouse. You can imagine, it's like a condo for birds. It's like 3 levels, openings all the way around on all 3 levels for the birds to put their nests in. Well, that wasn't really a problem until summer comes. Troy's trying to sleep in, and that. And these birds, I wake up really early in the morning. So they're out there chirping up a storm. And he's, I can't sleep. So he finally couldn't take it anymore. He went out there, and this thing was on a 10-foot pole up in the air. So he's spinning the pole to confuse the martins, so they don't know which nest to go in. Maybe they'll move somewhere else. Well, that didn't really work anyway. So he had to come up with another idea. So he goes down in the basement and plows through my tools and things like that. And he comes up with some foam and a 10-foot ladder, climbs up there and filled all the bird homes with foam. End of story. No more of a problem.
Grandpa wasn't happy because he built the bird.
Yeah.
And then there's just one other story, and then I thought of this on the way over. When we first moved to North St. Paul, and the boys were just little, Wade was 5, Troy was 8. And anyways, I did a lot of shopping over at Target. And they wanted to go to the toy department every time, just like a normal kid. And I'd go over there and wait, and then I thought, you're on your own, you know. You guys just stay in the toy department. I'm going shopping, don't leave. Do not leave. Do you hear me? Do not leave. If somebody comes and says your mom has gone to the hospital and I have to take you there for whatever reason they come up with, I will be back here to pick you up, so do not leave. And if anybody would try to take you, I want you to take every toy and thing and just throw it on the floor and smash it and just make a big racket. And when that manager comes up to me, I want him to say, man, your kid, it's thousands of dollars that you owe us, you know, because of the mess your kid made here, you know, you can, you know, tearing all this stuff up. So Troy told me this about 2-3 months ago. He said, Mom, remember when you told us that Wade and I were supposed to be in this toy department and that, and we were supposed to make a mess and that? And I said, yeah, you remember that? And he said, yeah. And he said, you don't know how bad I wanted somebody to pick us up. He said, I would be standing in the aisle and this lady would come up and I go, oh, she's come closer. No, nothing happened. Another guy, you know, another time we went over there, a guy would be there, you know, and you kind of, oh, this is it. He said it never happened. But,
Troy, you could not have been a better son. Thanks for 50 wonderful years.
Yeah.
Other people can come up and take our story. So, next, whoever.
thank you all too.
Thank you all.
Absolutely, thank you for coming.
Hi everybody, I'm Fred's brother. Sorry, I think everybody had COVID, so. This is just a toast, it's not even a drink, so I'll be brief. But I just want to share kind of one thing that Trent and I did a lot together as what concerts. About 30 years ago, he invited me with some of his friends to go to First Avenue, and you know, since then we've been in many shows over the years. You know, a lot of times it was maybe just the two of us, and other people weren't interested in going. Certainly our wives were interested in going to listen to some of these bands. So yeah, you know, we were the two tall guys standing in front of you at the show. So it's definitely something I'm going to miss with him. So, you know, here's to Troy. Here's to the hearing damage caused by the My Bloody Valentine show that you invited me to. So, cheers. Just some more stories and other things that people have to share. Thanks. Hi, everybody.
Okay, she's not.
You come up.
That was it. Now he's going to talk.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dave Anderson, and I worked with Troy for a long time, over 20 years or so. And for those of the folks who worked with Troy, can you all raise your hands? If you haven't noticed, now I'll try to keep this non-emotional as much as I can, but it's going to be rough. That's why I brought my emotion champion here with me. But the thing that I love listening to all of you on the family side is a lot of your great stories and emotions and just stories. Those carried over in work too. Like, it's not like there was a switch that was thrown and Robot Troy came out and went to work. And you know, when you even think about work in general, work is such a big part of our life. And what I loved about Troy is he work's always work. It's crappy. It's whatever. But the way Troy made work was fun. You heard Brian talk about how he would like change passwords to throw a little shade around the Packers, that kind of stuff. And one of the stories and this wasn't just a story. This was year over year. This shows the dedication to the man. I think it gets to like Troy. Apparently, Troy liked to climb trees too. We're learning a lot. We're unpacking a lot. But the thing that I love is we had a big tradition. Diane, you started it with our kind of our white elephant, our Christmas holiday, and we'd always bring these presents, and you would exchange them, and it'd be a secret. No one would know. And you would trade up, and you get into these battles around taking these. Well, one year there was this, and you all might have to keep me honest, it doesn't matter, the theme is right. There was, you've seen those hard hats with the two beer thing. Like, Troy made one of those this year, but he put his photo right in the middle of that hat. And so it was like this thing where you drink beer and you could always, represent Troy. And it was really competitive, and it kind of took off. And there started becoming a Troy theme every year. And I know Jen knows this, because one year, there was this beautiful set of multiple frames that you could hang on the wall, and you open it up and it's all pictures of Troy to go with it. And that's what I loved about his spirit and just about who he was. It tells a lot. And I can't remember if Wayne or Rob, I don't know who got it, but then one of my favorites was he had a custom calendar made with him, and then his birthday was on it, and important Troy days were in there. And so like if that's really, that's who the guy was. That's how he came to work every day. And so that's why I think you see so many friends at work here today, because the guy enriched our lives just as much as he enriched his family. So thanks so much. I just wanted I don't have the cocktail, but here's to you, my friend, and all of you.
I'd like to just say a few words. The Shallys and the Dunwoody's go back to 1979. My mom moved myself and my three other brothers from Florida to Minnesota in 1979, and my youngest brother Aaron was born the same year as Troy, and same age, and became very, very close friends, and lived across the street. Great memories. I mean, I was 7 years older, and I'll never forget, I can't remember exactly what age I was. I want to say I was probably 18 or 19, I think it was. And Aaron and Drew and Wade and Troy, and they would play Dungeons and Dragons for hours and hours and hours. And I was kind of like, I wasn't into the fantasy world, this Dungeons and Dragons. I kind of laughed. My brother and Elsa, we were kind of like laughing at it a little bit, but they had fun. I mean, and then their friendship went on for years and years. My mom, really great friends with Ron and Joanne, and the season tickets that we've had all these years. I mean, all the great, different experiences. I mean, it's just it's been a treat. I mean. Feel very blessed to have Troy and the Shallys in our life. Adam and I were talking earlier about the enduro race. We had my grandpa's old car. I drove through college, and we converted it into a demolition derby race. And Ron was there, Joanna was there, Adam was there, Kurt, my brothers were all there, and we were amateurs. I mean, it was, but we had fun that day. I mean, it was hot. I remember it was blazing hot. It was like, it was probably 95 and super humid, and So we had this 1972 Pontiac Granville going around, and we actually did pretty well because that car was just about the biggest car on and it was all steel, and it was out muscling these cars that were spinning around. Then we blew out a tire. So we all went, we were sitting in the stands instead of being ready. And we had to get out of the stands and run back to the car, and we changed the tire, and then we realized that what was caused the tire is the frame was coming on the bank and going into the tire, so we had to take the tire off, pound the frame up, and then put the tire back on. But we had a bunch of fun, and we didn't win, but we finished pretty well. I think, how many cars were in that one, man? 150. I mean, we did pretty well. It was like, I think we were in the top 20 or something like that. We did pretty well for never being one. But it was fun, and just want to say, Shally's friends for life. And you can't be sad for the times you don't have. Just be glad for the times you do have and how blessed you are for all the great memories. So.
That was Troy's name for me, because when the boys were little, I'd always give them suckers, so he always called me Auntie Sucker. No, it was a good thing.
So Troy, I don't know if you saw the picture of Troy chasing cattle, so that wasn't my doing, that was our dad. No matter who you are, he would try to get you to chase cattle. All of them have done it, and maybe ride a horse. You were the back. Yeah. Right. Didn't happen. But when Troy would come to our house, they often stayed with us when they came to Iowa. Troy couldn't be the more epitome of a good guy. Like, my husband feeds cattle, and so my job is to open the gates. And so when Troy would come, he's like, I'll do that for you. And I'm like, okay. And so after Troy would leave, Tom would be like, well, Troy runs from gate to gate, so maybe you can try that. I'm like, dude, what are you doing from here to the boss, man? But all the stuff that was said today was totally Troy, and I have to say, we're going to miss him terribly, and we're so lucky that Troy was a part of our family and a part of us, because he was just great, and he was great with my kids. He made super great chocolate chip pancakes. When he would be there, he would just step into anything we needed done. He always was so helpful, and he and Tom would just take the kids. If we needed to be taking care of something, we knew that the kids were just taken care of, and they were having fun, and they were doing everything they wanted to do while we took care of our business, and we're just forever grateful for him, and I'm just gonna miss him so much. He was the last memories we have of him were they were the best days that we were able to be with all of us together, and him always laughing, no matter what, always laughing and enjoying company. He couldn't see us, but he would be he knew we were around someplace, and he would DIing us and being like, okay, that's cool, yeah, okay. Man. Oh, good, man, yeah.
He just was the best player with the kids. I have so many memories of him and Jen said it perfectly, when he first got to know us, he was more comfortable playing with the kids in the basement. And
where are you at?
There's a lot of, we're overwhelming, you get that, it's a lot. So he'd be with the kids, and it was, one time at my house, he came up and he's like, okay, I wasn't going to tell you, but, we accidentally punched a hole in the wall and put a calendar over it so you couldn't see it. But he wanted me to know, and he felt bad, so I'm like, oh my God. And he was the best uncle, best dad, best brother of mine. I have so many amazing memories of him in the last 19 months. I got to spend so much quality time with him and got to know him in a different way, where, we bonded, he was different, we just had really a great relationship. I loved every minute of it, and he made it easy. All this, he made it so easy for us, because he was positive, he was accepting of all that was coming his way, and he was so strong, so amazing. He worked so hard. I mean, he worked with his therapies, he was just all in. Always exercising, always working. I'm like, let's try it. I'm in for exercising. He gets better exercising. And so he was amazing. And so I agree with Heidi. Our last few get-togethers were just such great memories. And he and I had a lot of kind of fun drinks, like the 2 chicks. I'm like, are you too manly to drink one of these? And he's like, oh no, I can drink one of those. So we had 2 chicks together, but every time I drink a gin and tonic, I will think of Troy. And he's in my heart, and he will be there. He has a special spot forever. It's getting full. Him and his places. Yep. And so thank you, Troy, for making this such a great journey and for letting me be part of it, letting all of us be part of it. He just embraced everything. And like Jen said, he loved the attention. Thank God, because it's awesome. Cheers to Troy.
Cheers.